All right, this is Langstroth hive. I guess one on my side of the land. It's actually my second inspection of my Langstroth hives today. This hive, last week, the queen was, she was like all the way over on a honey frame, which she shouldn't have been. She had plenty of room to lay. And although they aren't aggressive, I was a little bit worried about them. Today on all of these hives, because it's 3 weeks since we put them in and we should have baby bees coming up now, I'm going to be putting a second box on these hives. And these boxes all have fully drawn out comb for the most part. No real just foundation. They've at least got some comb drawn out on them. They also have some honey. Each of them actually, I think, has one full frame of honey. So lots of food for them, which is good. And what we're hoping to do here is we're going to pull a frame of brood from downstairs and we're going to pull it up. And this is a trick I learned from David Burns. I've actually heard it from several beekeepers, move a frame of brood up and then that'll bring them up into the box. And then we're also going to weigh, if I can remember, we're going to weigh the box. With these frames or with these hives, you really want to weigh them. You want them to continue building weight. You need at least 60 pounds of honey to get these bees through the winter. And what will happen is this box here should remain the brood chamber. Ideally, what we're going to do now is we're going to actually entice the queen to come up into this upper box, because look at this. I mean, they're already pulling in. They already got comb on the lid here. Just make sure my queen's not up here because she's weird like that. I mean, look at all these bees. This is crazy already. We're going to smoke them down a little bit. And it's funny because they say smoke calms them down. I'll give you an honest opinion. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes I think that's a little bit of giving us the bee's nest, because I swear sometimes when I put comb or when I put smoke on them, they even get a little bit more aggressive. So I'm going to put a frame hanger on here. We'll weigh this hive at the end. But let's go ahead and start from the back side here. Now, this was a frame of honey when I put it in. And these frames are from 2024. All right, let's see. So nice. They've got some nectar in here. I must be on some kind of flow right now. They're getting nectar from somewhere. A lot of pollen, a lot of nectar. I mean, you can almost, I hope you can see it. It's glistening in there. But that's them. That is not me. I did not give them that. All right. Beautiful brood on this frame. Pollen galore. They've got some nectar in the corners. Really strong eggs, larvae, capped brood on both sides. Yep. I don't know if you can hear my ravens out here, but my neighbor and I are in a fight on whether they're ravens or crows. I believe they are ravens. All right, so beautiful wall-to-wall capped brood. I mean, that is just gorgeous. There is an uncharged emergency cell in here. And again, just beautiful laying pattern here. That's what you're looking for in these frames. You're looking for a really strong, I mean, that's all capped brood. So this is why we're adding a second box, because already we got a couple bees emerging. This is going to continue now every day for the next several days. And, well, all through the summer. And as we enter the nectar flow, as this population rises, and again, I said it in my last video, but the way this works, I got some drone brood down here, but it is, again, wall-to-wall laid out. Jesus. I mean, just both sides look just like that. There's a little bee sleeping right there. See that right there by my finger? That's a bee taking a little snoozer. You can also see on the bottom of that frame, little girl walking around with some pollen pants on. It is strong. There's some drone brood here, which is a good indicator that they're feeling good. But so the way this works is from egg to emergence is 21 days. From emergence to forage is another 20 days, 18 to 21 days. Yeah, this has all eggs, larvae, capped brood. I don't know what this is. I keep seeing these like emergency cells for queens, but I can't imagine that they're wanting to supersede her. I mean, she has just laid this thing out. This frame is all eggs, larvae, and capped brood. So anyway, 21 days and then another 21 days. So, you're talking 42 days from the time she laid her first egg before those bees will be foragers. So the ones that are hatching now, they still got another 18 to 21 days before they're going to be out foraging for anything. Well, in this, where I'm at right now, you're going to be in the heart of the nectar flow, and having this many bees is going to be very beneficial. I mean, again, it's just, she's just laying it out. She's awesome. I got a little bit of honey in the corners, some pollen, so they're building these frames exactly as you would expect. Kind of, well, eggs, larvae. I mean, it is all the way laid out, 3-day-old eggs. Now, this hive compared to the hive across the way is significantly, and I mean significantly, more chill. These girls are just buzzing right along. They could care less. You're good girls, huh? This one's a heavy frame. I would not be surprised to see her on here, but I don't need to see her. The back side of this is all nectar, and then I got, again, I keep seeing these like emergency cells, but nothing in them. Eggs. This one's pollen and nectar mostly. I don't see any eggs really, just pollen and nectar, and eventually this one will become all pollen and nectar. Now, I didn't see my queen, but again, I don't need to because I got plenty of proof she's in here. And like I said, we're going to pull one of these strong brood frames up, and we're going to give her some room to lay up top. And then here, right quick, I'm going to put supers on. And the reason is that my supers are not drawn. It's all foundation. I've never got through a season with bees without a queen issue, and so all of my supers have never had any honey drawn on them. The honey I got last year actually came from um, I had a third deep on here, and we had to combine some hives. I'm gonna actually weigh these guys real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull a frame. And what's cool about this is that I did not harvest everything that I had last year. I kept a lot of my honey so that this year, instead of feeding these hives, I could start out with some resources for them. And so they've had no sugar syrup at all. And I'm hoping that, by keeping it natural as much as I can, that I'll get a better result out of them. Now, I was at my bee meeting yesterday for my local bee club here, and I mean, it is just so bad how much we have to focus on varroa mite. That's already 15.5, so it's already a couple pounds heavier, and 16.4. This thing is already heavier than my other hive over there by a good 2-3 pounds. So these girls are off to just a rockin' start. So I am going to pull a frame here from the middle. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pull this frame here, I think. Yeah, because this is a brood frame, but this one's a brood frame from last year when I had my dead out. They're going to have to clean it out. It's got some dead bees in the middle. And I'm going to pull this frame here, I think. Because look at how many bees I've got already. And they're going to start emerging here pretty quick. And that is just wall-to-wall brood. So by putting this one in here, I'm essentially going to pull them up into this part of the hive. And hopefully I don't roll any of them. I'm going to pull them up into this part of the hive, and they'll start building this one out. And that should go fairly quickly. And then we'll be ready to put a super on. I'll probably actually put supers on next week just so that they can start drawing them out. But that is this week's inspection. So we got weight, we got second box going on. We're gonna get these girls out of the way so they don't get in any trouble and smash any. And that is that. And by, again, putting a frame of brood up here, it's going to draw them up. And as these new baby bees emerge, hopefully they'll bring the queen up here. She'll start laying up here. We'll get a pretty decent population. They'll probably lay it out first, and then they'll fill it with nectar, is my guess. But I do have honey on either side. So they have already a good start on this hive. And many of the frames that were in here had honey in them too. So I'm going to mark it. What was it? A little over 30, 31, 32 pounds. So queen right on 5-9. Eggs, larva, brood, cap brood, nectar, honey. And we're going to say 32 pounds added second deep. And that's what we're going to mark there for now. So that is this hive.